Now, a court has sentenced controversial cross-dresser Idris Olarewaju Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, to 6 months in prison without an option of fine for abusing the Naira notes. The court said the judgment would serve as a deterrent to others found abusing the Naira. Before the sentence, the judge asked about his sex, and he quickly replied that he was a man. The judge ruled that the jail term commenced on March 24. That's the day of his arrest. Bobrisky had last Friday, after his conviction, pleaded with the court to give him a lesser punishment as he was not aware of the law of abusing the Naira. Well, our Rise 360 anchor Kechi Ofia joins me now in the studio. Kechi, good to see you and thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
Love him or hate him, let's take away all of that and look at this objectively.
Okay.
Is Bobrisky the first or the only celebrity who's
been involved in this?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to answer your question first. He's not. This is the second time, actually. In February, there was an actress, an Hollywood actress, Oluwadarasimi Omoseyin. I hope I said her name right. The difference between her case and Bobrisky's case is the judgment given, because it was pretty much the same thing. In that case, Justice Aneke sentenced her to 6 months in prison with the option of a fine of 300,000 Naira. For the same issues, defaming the Naira, according to Section 21, subsection 1, of the CBN Act 2007.
So there's already a precedent.
There was already a precedent, basically. That was the first time this happened. And the basis for that judgment at the time was that was the first time this was happening. So they're like, okay, you know what? The option of fine 300,000. The difference is with Bobrisky, there is no option of a fine. So it's 6 months in prison. Now, there are 3 ways to look at this.
All right.
The people and how people feel about this, the law as it is, and then the reaction to the law. Now, for people, a lot of people have reacted to this judgment to say it is unfair. A lot of people on social media have alleged that this is simply using Peter to catch Paul. Let me put it that way. There are other issues that may exist, but we're not coming face front to address these issues. Now, the videos that have circulated, Bobrisky is one of many Nigerians. I have a ton of footage that I just decided not to put on, but there are too many. Most recently, Pelumi Nubi, Lagos State's tourism ambassador, was at a wedding spraying money. We've seen governors do the same at the just concluded wedding as well in Lagos State. Money was sprayed. Let's take it back 2 years ago, Obi Cubana's mother's funeral. They used the Naira to play football. So this is a law that has been in existence for years, so that we are only just being aware of it will be odd, wouldn't it? So that has led to a lot of people believing that there's more to this. Are you sure it's just about Bobrisky's spraying? Because he's been doing this for a long time. So that's how people feel. People feel like this was a misjudged case. People feel like this is one incident where Bobrisky is just a victim of the system. Then you take it to the law, which is clearly stated in Section 121 subsection 1. Yeah. This is a crime. You do not defame the Naira. You cannot spray. You cannot trample. You cannot squeeze. It's all outlined in Section 21. So realistically, we should not be doing it. But what I found most interesting is that legal practitioners are equally questioning this ruling to say what's really going on here. A very important word that was used in that judgment was deterrence. But if you take it to the theories, because when you think of punishment, you think of why is punishment given? To deter people from doing the wrong thing. Is giving us a way to for some form of retribution and of course rehabilitation, right? But the theories of deterrence and retribution basically point to the gravity of the offense being almost equal to the actual crime that was committed. So if you look at this case, you then have to ask yourself, if this is really supposed to serve as a deterrent, is 6 months in prison, half a year in prison, equal to Bobrisky spraying money around? Keeping in mind that this section does not stipulate exactly how long. We know that it says basically less than 6 months, because for the classification of crime where this falls into, it would be a misdemeanor. So does it really equate to what happened, considering these other factors? Considering that this, if we decide to really go there, There's a lot to unravel.
Honestly, a lot to unravel.
It just boils down to what's really going on here. Are we really insisting on this?
And Kichi, that's the question, because speaking of which, a lot of legal minds are on Twitter, now X, and so many other social platforms talking. On Arise legal analyst Frank Tieti has also weighed in, where specifically he quote, he says, Bobrisky, they betrayed justice. His counsel, the prosecution, and the court all missed it. And he concluded by saying a deterrent regime by cooperative prosecution will never again be trusted. The court did not serve justice, just as you highlighted. But again, quickly, let's bring in this perspective. Many said that Bobrisky did not waste the court's time. He openly and quickly said, look, I'm guilty, just give me time to even do this wrong. But this is what he's getting. And others are saying that, look, it looks like the courts are actually pursuing something that they're not talking about, and that is why this is coming.
This is a rise, okay? Black is black, white is white. We cannot hide that Bobrisky is a cross-dresser. In 2019, you know what was one of the biggest trends on Twitter? Bae. You know where bae started becoming a thing from? Bobrisky told the whole world he had this bae that would send him wads of cash, spoil him, treat him to the best set of luxury and all of that. He's a popular cross-dresser, that is a fact. Now, we know this when it comes to the laws around the LGBTQ space. Nigeria is very clear on its stance. Same-sex marriages are not legal. So we are not a pro-LGBTQ community or country in Nigeria, just as we've seen with other countries within Africa. The major difference is Nigerian laws have not gotten to the point where they're so you're getting capital punishments for this. You know, it's about 14 years. You're not dying from it. In some countries, you're actually subject to that. So that is one angle to this. But it's very simple. If that is the issue, tell us that's what the issue is. But then again, it's really hard to pinpoint because it cases if you're caught.
Yeah.
There was a popular video where James Brown said, was there a court? You know, so there was no catching in this situation, so people feel like
that's another gentleman or another lady. I don't know, another gentleman.
Listen, I say it for what it is. Until you come out to tell us who you are, I'm going to just address you by your actual gender.
Okay, another man. Well, Kichi, many thanks for coming on Newsnight. Whatever it is, someone is doing time for 6 months, and someone has said he's a gentleman.